Hello everyone! In today's video, I will show you how to install Windows 1 in VirtualBox with a working mouse cursor. Let's get started. The first step is creating the virtual machine. Type in the name in the first field, then select the version. I recommend choosing Windows 3.1 from the drop-down. You can also select MS-DOS since Windows 1 is basically a DOS program, there is no difference. In the next window, you can adjust the system resources which the VM will use. I think they are good enough. On this screen, you will create a virtual hard disk. I already have a blank VHD, so I will import it here. I recommend choosing a size of about 40 megabytes. The wizard will now ask for confirmation. Click on Finish to create your VM. But we're not done yet. You'll need to add a second floppy drive since it saves a lot of time and is much more convenient. The second floppy drive will appear as the B drive in DOS. Open the Storage tab and click on the green plus icon next to the entry Controller Floppy. Then you can select Leave Empty. Now that you have two floppies, you can load diskettes in them. The download links for MS-DOS 3.3, Windows 1 and Windows 2 are in the description below. In the first floppy, or the A drive, insert the DOS diskette. It should be called Disk 1. I don't need the second floppy, so I've renamed mine. And in the B drive, load the Windows 2 Disk 1. You might ask why we need Windows 2. Well, Windows 1 doesn't support PS2 mice, it seems. So we will override the Windows 1 mouse driver with the Windows 2 one, and this will make the cursor work. Once DOS has loaded, remove its diskette from the A drive. Don't worry, it won't crash since it loads itself into the RAM. Then, navigate to the Windows 1 folder and make a copy of the Windows 1 setup floppy. If you want, you can rename it to setup patch to indicate that this is a modified image. By default, you can't edit the contents of the diskette. To fix this, right-click and open Properties. In the Properties window, find the checkbox Read Only in the Attributes section and uncheck it. By the way, this is the first time I have ever found any use for this attribute, which is definitely a relic of the past. Now, after you have loaded the floppy into the A drive, it's time to override the driver. First, find mouse.drv in the Windows 2 Disk 1 with the dir command. Then, switch to the Windows 1 setup floppy and search for nomouse.drv. We will override the driver file, which will later show up as no pointing device. To do this, simply switch to the Windows 2 Disk 1 and type in the following command: copy mouse.drv /nomouse.drv. And you're done. Now you can start the setup process. Before you can start the setup, you need to configure your hard drive, which is something I forgot. Load the DOS diskette in the A drive and the Windows 1 setup in the B drive. Then load the fdisk program from MS-DOS. Press Enter thrice in order to create a primary DOS partition and use the maximum size available. Then input Y and press Enter when the compatibility warning appears. After MS-DOS reboots, format the C drive with the command format C:. This will make sure that Windows 1 recognizes the hard drive. Insert the patched Windows 1 floppy and run setup. Here I made a mistake and inserted the wrong floppy. If DOS or Windows 1 crashes in some way, you can restart it with Ctrl-Alt-Del. Now, after inserting the right floppy, it's time to run setup. Simply type in setup to start the installation. Press C to confirm and H to set up Windows on the hard drive. This is the Windows folder. Press Enter, then C to confirm. Leave option 1 or no pointing device since that is the Windows 2 driver. Next, you can go with an EGA adapter or option 6. Next, you can start inserting the floppies one by one. Press N when you are asked about a printer or plotter. And you're done. Here's Windows 1 running in VirtualBox with a working mouse cursor. I hope this video was interesting and helpful. Thanks for watching it. For more content, please subscribe and why not watch another video on the channel.